my behalf, I'm glad to be here, and thanks for inviting me. It's really important issue to speak about freedom of speech. It's something we always or very often take for granted, and well, in my experience, like democracy, freedom of speech must be protected every day, and it must be reinvented. Well, if not every day, almost every day. Thanks, Kathleen. Thanks, Ida, for your remarks and your insights. I became even more worried about the state of free speech in the US before I came here. After listening to you, and well, really, it's the situation there is not really easy, and I'm afraid it will stay that way for some time. But well, let me say something about Finland and our state of freedom of speech. Is there a threat towards our freedoms, or are we doing still well? Like my dear friend Matti told earlier, we are in the 5th place in the world press freedom list. I can't now give you the exact name of that list, but anyhow, we are in a very nice position. We have been number 2, I think, before, not a long time ago, but being number 5 is not that bad. If you take, well, if you compare that to the Finnish athletes in Tokyo, being in the 5th is not that bad in any way, and it's a reason for red carpet when you come back. But well, let me speak to you or make my case with 3 points. Those who are from Finland know what it means to make a presentation by using 3 points, but those who come from overseas, let me just tell you that our president, Alexander Stubb, makes always his remarks, well, almost always with 3 points, and if there are more points, then he must be in trouble. I see 3 things that might bring dark clouds in the sea of free speech in Finland. The first one is social media. Second one is populism, and the third one is the media economy. And all of those 3 they go to some extent hand in hand. They are intertwined, and I would say that all of those 3 are very strongly present in the media landscape in Finland at this very moment. The first one, social media. When you look back about 20 years when we saw the first social media platforms, I think Facebook was born 2004, and Twitter, now called X, 2 years later, so they are 20 years old about at this very moment. But when they were born, I would claim or argue that very rare people saw what was coming. Well, we thought now, wow, we have something new. Now there is a platform or a channel for everyone to voice out their feelings and their opinions, and that would expand the free speech in Finland to a new atmosphere, if you like. But now we know different. We have seen how social media is used to harass, abuse, even intimidate people, and it is in good use, but by some governments to interfere internal affairs to other countries. It was not only a nice place to meet people, share experiences with friends and relatives. It's also a weapon in skillful hands. Traditional media, as I see it, that's TV, radio, printed press, and even to some extent landline phone, if you can find any these days. Well, that was the old good days when we had all of those 4. They were rather easy to control, of course, yes. And we had gatekeepers called chief editors who decided what to publish and what not. That was something that is attacked by by people these days. Well, the issue here is that the traditional media is seen as let's say, a means to control and restrict free speech, which I can't understand, and even the name social media leads to think that now we have something that really is social. What unsocial was in TV, radio, and printed press, they were also social media. Now if you have a means of communication like social media, where there's no code of conduct like we have in the traditional media, you can spread lies, claims. You can distort facts. You can say black, white, and the other way around, and there's no way to stop that. And when it comes to journalism, I know many of them who are under almost constant pressure by social media, and people who spread lies and tries to make the lives of normal journalists' lives unbearable. Number two, populism. If you look back go back 20 years in time, you can see that waves of populism in Finland and elsewhere in Europe, they appeared almost at the same time as we saw the rise of social media. I see a connection here. Suddenly there was a channel to voice out all kind of opinions, make people think that there are simple answers to complex questions. Those two, social media and populism, in my view, they go hand in hand. Using social media could voice, in the best case, alternative views, but what we see here in Finland, too often, social media is used to say that the old media, the traditional media, is wrong, lying, and disproportionate facts. Well, if you look at the Finnish populists, we have one party that is very big one already. The True Finns, I think, is the name in the English language. Perussuomalaiset, I'm sorry, the Finnish language is incomprehensible and unpronounceable, but the True Finns is the name, I think, in English. They, in particular, have been very eager to target the Finnish broadcasting company YLE. And not one day passes without claims saying that, well, journalists like Ida and Pasi and others, they are nothing but liars or people who do not do their job well or properly. And very often, they don't even say why they are not doing their job properly. All of us who have been in this business long enough, we know that we make mistakes every now and then, that happens, or things are not done in the right way. But even then, if you criticize the traditional media, you must be able to say what has been done wrong, and how it should have been done. My third point is bad media economy, and that is not news to anyone. We have seen, declining news media economies about 20 years now, and there are rays of hope we can see already to the better, but still I would say that we are in the middle of change that hasn't been completed yet. Let me give you a couple of figures only. Let's only one figure, not to depress you too much. In 2006, we had about 3,300 journalists in this country, 3,300. And now the number is about 1,000 less. In less than 20 years, we have lost 10 1,000 jobs in newsrooms. In a small country like Finland, it's a big number. And then if you look at the combined circulation of the printed press, the number or the figure is so low today that the publishers don't even want to publish them anymore. So 20 years we have lost brands, and that will happen again. And there have been mergers of media companies, and in some cases, some brands just have disappeared, and that process and that development will go on from, well, let's say some years at least to come. And somebody mentioned the Finnish news agency STT already. Last week we heard that it's in growing trouble, and I don't see how it can come through or overcome the trouble it has countered. When you look at those three now, social media, populism, and bad media economy, there's no quick remedy for any of those three. The first one might be the easiest. What that might lead into more regulation of social media, not easy path, but I would say that we have no other way but to consider of creating some kind of code of conduct also for social media. Number two is populism, and number three, bad media economy. They are more difficult to handle because then we are, well, first dealing with the core of democracy, and second, then we are also dealing with market economy. If people don't want to buy news, if they don't want to pay for news, you can't force them to do it. So I'm afraid I would like to end my positive remarks by saying that we still do well. No big harm done so far. But I would also argue that we are living in a very dangerous time, and we might not have the same free speech or enjoy the same amount of free speech in some years to come as we do have these days. Thank you.